G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. NO here. Week 1 NFL. Good to be back, honestly. No better time. I know grand finals in a couple of weeks for the footy, but to me, the most fun I have in a fantasy game is playing NFL and playing, because you're playing leagues with your mates as well, like not on SportsDeck, but, in a draft fashion where you draft your own team and have your weekly matchup. And that's, playing quite a few leagues of those, and it's just a lot of fun. Um, I put it this way, I ruin my sleep schedule for it every Monday morning, get up at about 3, 4 a.m. Watch Red Zone with the great man, Scotty Hansen. And I don't think there's anything more fun in the fantasy world anyway for me. But by far my favourite sport for that. And honestly, rivaling footy these days is my favourite sport in general. So, great to have it back. Can't wait to see who takes the chocolates this year. If I was to make a quick tip here, besides, sort of your chalk Bucks or Chiefs or whatever, the Rams are pretty good on Sunday night. I mean, I know it was the Bears who aren't flash, but I just like the roster. And now they got Stafford there, who's just a bit more secure as a quarterback than Goff. Their defense is amazing. And now their offense will start clicking with a bit more security. So they're probably my tip. I've had to tip someone for the Super Bowl, but we'll see what happens. My score this week wasn't amazing. 491. I was sort of all out yesterday. Had every player done, and a lot of guys still had Waller and whatnot to play today, and scored. Probably 500 was about par, or probably a little bit more than that. But you should be happy with 500 or more, I would say. So obviously I'm not super happy with that, but it's week 1, and you can't really predict a lot of things, especially in NFL for week 1. You learn a lot more as 2 or 3 weeks go by as to players' roles and what offenses are looking like, blah blah blah. So you can't always get it right, and there's a few examples of that in my team. So what was I, 30th or something overall? So we don't focus too much on that now. But for anyone who knows me from George, the podcast I do with him, he made a team and he's 21st overall after 1 week, and he knows about 3 players in the NFL. So look, good luck to George for the rest of the season. I know he started with Mahomes because he loves him and captained him. And look, that'll probably work most weeks because Paddy is nuts. But I'll start with the quarterbacks, and I still think, even though, Mahomes and Kyler Murray and a couple other guys, can pop off every week and score 60. Jalen Hurts scored 57 at 13 mil cheaper. So still the strategy and sort of what I learned last year is to go with these guys. There's even others that we can't pick because there's only 3 slots that still go well, like Mac Jones scored 30 himself, and Lansing Fields aren't starting yet, but Tyrod's 3 mil, who we all started last year at 3 mil, and then he got injured, and Herbert came in, but he's 3 mil and he scored 40 odd as well. You don't expect these guys to do that every week because they are not the top tier, of course. But Hurts looked really good. Philly looked really good. Doubters over them. I'm not saying I was one of them, but he proved that he can get it done. And look, there's going to be ups and downs with him. He's not the best passer in the world, but the fact that he rushes a lot and he actually made some really good passes this week to Devonta Smith and Dallas Scott and others, he can get it done. So, don't expect that every week, but the fact that he's shown he can do it is a good thing. And based off those scores, from that price range, you'll make heaps. So we'll be able to turn them into a primo, 6 or 7 weeks or something. The other 2, Trev, look, he started slow through a few picks, got it going late in what probably called junk time. But again, showed he can do it, and Zach Wilson's sort of the same. They went down early as well, and he sort of got his team back into it really himself. He's not got much to work with there. It's Corey Davis is his best wide receiver. Corey Davis is a good player, but he really doesn't have much else besides that. Especially his offensive line's not great, and he was scrambling a lot and got sacked quite a bit early. So he's got to do a lot of work, but no, I think he'll be fine for this as well and make enough money for it to be worth it in a few weeks. The running backs, McCaffrey, it's just simple. You start him. There's no reason not to. I know people will say he injured last year, but it was a shoulder injury and an ankle sprain. Like, come on. That's not an ACL. You start this man because he's insane in fantasy. He's 2 players in one. He had 9 catches and then also ran for almost 100 yards, 180, 90 all-purpose yards. It's what you expect from him every week, and if he's healthy, that's what he's going to do. 45 without a touchdown is ridiculous. So expect that's basically his 4. His 4 is like 40, which is just stupid. So yeah, captain every week for me, unless you've got obviously a top tier quarterback or something. But yeah, VC every week, and that's what it'll be this week. I straight captained him this week because I had the kicker I chose, the Chargers guy, didn't work for week 1. I just was more confident in straight captaining him against the Jets than I was in week 2 against New Orleans. So look, doesn't matter what kicker you got, you just either straight captain or vice captain McCaffrey every bloody week. Derrick Henry, now disappointing. Look, the Titans were disappointing. They went down early again, really quick, like 2 or 3 touchdowns in before half time, and that doesn't suit Derrick Henry because that man does not catch passes, and as soon as they're down points, it's just going to be a throwing fest. And they started ticking the scoreboard over in the last quarter, and the running game sort of came back a bit, and he burst off a couple of 10+ yard runs to boost his score. So there's still faith in him. It's just his team went down early very fast, and that's not great for him. And he sort of does rely on finding the end zone, which he does do most weeks. So hopefully he does that, in the coming weeks. And who they got? They got Seattle. Yeah, look, not the best matchup, not the worst matchup. He should be able to find the end zone if they get in position. So he's fine. I'm not trading him at this stage. If you went Alvin Kamara or Dalvin Cook, you'd be ecstatic. But to be honest, by the end of the year, I don't see a major difference between all those in their scores. And they're probably the guys we'd be targeting to get in at some stage. Zeke, look, it's probably coming this disappointing score because Bucks defense is ridiculous, and that was the game plan, and they didn't even try to run against the Bucks because they already know that that's just not going to work. The weaker part of the defense is their secondary, so Dak threw 60 times almost, and while it was annoying, he didn't throw to Zeke that much. Zeke was out there for 90% of the snaps or something, so obviously a lot of those were blocking, but that just shows he's the guy. People get worried about, Tony Pollard, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry. Zeke will be fine from here. We field him from here, and he'll be good. Najee Harris, again, don't worry about Najee Harris. He was out there, I think it was 100% of the snaps. Didn't come off in any offensive snap for the Steelers. It was just a scrappy game. Steelers versus Bills was just a scrappy game. Both defenses played very well, and the Steelers got the job done in the end. So Raiders this week, Raiders aren't that great defensively, so Najee will be fine. I think it's the Bengals in week 3, so Najee will be fine. We keep fielding him from here as well. Javonte. Now, that was Sermon, and if you didn't wake up at 3 a.m., which is understandable, for some reason Sermon was a late scratch about an hour or 2 before the game, and we don't know why, because apparently he was the man, or at least second to Raheem Mostert in the depth chart all preseason, and turn up and he doesn't even suit up for week 1. He's not even playing. So that was weird, although Mostert did get injured, so I probably expect Sermon to suit up next week, and who knows, from here he probably becomes the running back one on the team, which is probably a pain in the ass, but whatever. Javonte, he'll be fine. He got pretty much split work with Melvin Gordon, about 12, 13 carries each, so I know Melvin Gordon got the big touchdown run, but Javonte hopefully ticks along and gets in the end zone in the coming weeks and makes a bit of cash for us. And then there's Tyson Williams, who, after Gus went down, he was the next man up again, and you just need, especially if you've got, Gus was a lock for me at the price in this offense, and now you get Tyson at 2.6 mil. That's an even sort of bigger lock for me if he's at least a split backfield in this offense, because playing with Lamar, as you can see, it's hard to worry about him and then man up everyone else. So, yeah, you just get a lot of. Might not get the volume, 20 touch opportunity game, but 10 touches with Lamar is almost just as good because it get a lot more scoring, chances and valuable touches they are. And he caught some passes as well, which is a good sign. The wide receivers. I said this in my sort of pre-season video or intro video that this is the biggest raffle in the whole game because there's about 20 guys you could pick. And if I hit trade on someone here and show you how many blokes can score over sort of 30 on a given week, it's about 25. I've got rookies here scoring. It just depends who finds the end zone at the end of the day. So there's not a lot you can do or worry about. D-Hop was probably the one I missed. I did have him at one stage and sort of swapped him out for Terry to find some cash to sort of keep Derrick Henry and keep Kittle in the team. But obviously that's disappointing. But yeah, it's the biggest crapshoot in the game this area, and you can't be too hung up on a first week score. So Devontae Adams, he'll bounce back. They get the Lions next week. Rodgers had played his worst game in a long time. I mean, he did have a very poor game against the Bucs last year. Obviously, the Bucs are amazing, but every other game he dominated, and I expect him to come back and dominate from here. Obviously he didn't show up to a lot of preseason, and there was all the fiasco with the general management and all that stuff. But yeah, the Lions is a juicy matchup week 2, and I expect him to bounce back. Tyreek, nuts as usual. Playing with Patty Mahomes, there's not much more you can do. They're just incredible duo or trio if you want to throw in Kelsey, of course. And yeah, the biggest lock I don't think you should have gone without. If you did, it's probably looking bad now because, or I'll be looking to get him in because just they can go absolutely nuts any given week. Ridley looked disappointing. He started pretty well, but the Falcons were just terrible. Matt Ryan just did not look good at all. So it is slightly concerning for that reason. But Matty Ryan's been on the decline for a couple of years anyway, and Ridley's still been unbelievable. So, I'm not overly concerned. He gets enough target share to sort of have a 15 to 24 each week. It's just whether or not, he gets to 10 catches, 100 yards games and gets in the end zone. So hopefully that'll come. But not a great start from the Falcons, especially against Philly, who aren't an amazing defense anyway. So hopefully they turn around this week. Tampa Bay, probably not, but hopefully after that they get a bit better. Stephon Diggs, sort of another one with Ridley. They're just not the greatest start from the Bills. Again, Steelers pretty good defense, so you probably weren't expecting anything massive, but the sheer target volume these guys would get, being the true alphas on their team with no one else really behind them, I'm not worried about it. This is their flaw. This is the worst game these guys will play. So you can't be too upset. Terry McLaurin, it's sort of my pod, if you will, sort of pick for the year. But look, the issue is Fitz going down, and now Taylor Heineke's the quarterback. Might be a concern, although he got most of his catches and work after the injury and after Fitz went out because he didn't target him once in the first half. So we'll see how this pick goes. It may not work, and I may have to flip. Could flip easily to a Cooper Kupp or something. Him and CD were like the good value options I sort of labelled in my intro vid. So that might be an option in a couple of weeks. See what happens from here. There's just no reason to trade yet. And CD was him and Kupp, great value selections. I thought from Kupp was 10 touchdowns 2 years ago and was like the wide receiver 4 in fantasy. Just had a down year last year with sort of Goff's pretty average play. So with Stafford, I sort of predicted that he would turn that around and get up near double-digit touchdowns again. And he had one taken off him and could have 2 on the weekend already. So he looks like a great pick as well. So I'll probably look at getting Kupp in at some stage if I need to flick Terry or something. If an injury happens. And CD, happy with him. Dallas throw the ball too much, and now that Gallup's down, it's going to be just a 1-2 Amari Cooper and CD show. So, I'm super happy with that selection. Now, the annoying one is Elijah Moore. sort of flicked my team around to keep, like I was saying, Derrick Henry and Kittle as try to want as many premiums as I could, and it sort of made me have to get rid of Jamar Chase, is where I had to get a bit of a downgrade somewhere. Obviously, I could have done Mac Jones instead of Zach Wilson, but yeah, it's looking like a bad call right now because Jamar Chase got the end zone and scored 30 as well. I mean, Waddle, Devonta, and Chase all scored and all scored 30 plus the first week. So if you had one of them on field, sort of went with all three and didn't go 6 receivers and spread your money elsewhere, you're looking, or you're pretty happy with that. But I don't expect those guys to do it every week. If I had to rank them, I'd have Devonta Smith number one actually, because what him and Hurts sort of doing was impressive, and there's sort of more. He's the true number one on that team. There's no one else sort of competing for the targets, whereas there is on the Bengals with T Higgins and Tyler Boyd. So I'd probably just have him just above Chase second, and then I'd probably have Waddle if you want to rank those three. I'd have him third. But yeah, looking like there's going to be a few options there. So like I said, wouldn't expect those guys to do it every week, but good start in week one. The tight ends, look, if you didn't start Kelsey, again, not sure what you were thinking, because this man with Paddy and Tyreek is just, deadly. You can't not go without it. I think he was an absolute lock. But the other selection, Kittle over Waller, not looking great either. Obviously it hurts just because Waller just went 40 today and Kittle didn't score that great, but look, they can turn it around next week. It's probably more on Kittle to improve than Waller to come back, because Waller's the absolute target hog on that team. He had 19 or 20 today and 100 yards and a touchdown. So look, he's not going to get the 100 yards and a touchdown every week, but he's going to get a lot of targets. So if you pick Waller, you'd be ecstatic with that. And then the other one was TJ Hockinson, who was a lot cheaper, about $6 million, and TJ is looking very, very nice as well. He's going to be the number one target for Detroit as well, because there really isn't anyone else. There's no receivers there. There's no receivers, and then the next target getters are like their running backs, So yeah, TJ looks very nice. And then Pitts on the bench, he'll just sit there for most of the year, I would say. Not sure he'll make a hell of a lot of cash to warrant, a downgrade or whatever, but he just might be good backup for, not Kittle's bye week, but Kelsey's, whenever that is, later on. And then the kickers, look, there was the Bengals kicker, this guy, there was, I think, the Jets kicker as well, but, you don't really want to pick a Jets kicker because they're probably not in a lot of scoring positions. So, it's probably between the Bengals and the Panthers guy. And then the other guy was the Pats kicker, who I didn't pick the Pats just because they sort of had Mac Jones, and I was like, they might not score a hell of a lot of points. And lucky I didn't, because that man, for some reason, got dropped to the practice squad on, day before the game, and he wasn't playing. So a few people in the Discord had him and got a 0, and that's just, didn't see that coming, so that's unlucky. I apologise if you selected him from my video, because I put him in it, but not much you can do there, and you're just going to have to trade to, either Santoso or the Bengals guy, or, whoever. And then, there's the loophole, Kessman, who, we'll use this week. If McCaffrey scores well. I've changed this. I had the Niners on field against the Lions, which was, always a lock. I know they gave up a lot of, 3 touchdowns in the last quarter, and it was looking like they're going to choke. But, I think this too would be nice to sort of swap for most of the year, and hopefully won't have to sort of make any trades at this part of the field. I think the Broncos have a good matchup. Yeah, they got the Jags, so might field them. The Niners have the Philly. Probably just field the Broncos, because I thought Philly looked not too bad on the weekend. So we'll try and aim for the worst matchup with the Jags. That's about it. Yeah, not trading unless you need to, like you've got, like I said, kicker, or if you had an injury. But there wasn't really any major injuries that I can think of. Like Jerry Jeudy, but I don't think many people have started him. And you don't have any reason to trade. Maybe think about what you're going to do to get Tyson Williams if you didn't go with him, because I think I looked at his ownership. That's only about 40%. So that's, I think it was Trey Sermon, I think, is still, Trey Sermon is still 27%. So look, that might be a trade you have to make. You can do it this week or just wait one more week and see what happens, because Trey Sermon may come back into the fold because most have got injured. So I'd wait just to see what happens with teams who are still learning a lot of, especially running back rooms over the next couple of weeks until they sort of settle and you can get a good read on it. So probably I'd still advise, just hold on to your trades this week and see what happens. Captaincy, that was already went through that. McCaffrey, of course, and might just look at a few guys in sort of the main league from the Discord. There's George, 601, 21st overall. Mahomes captain. Good on you. Good on you, George. Coming in luckboard already. There's a few. Look, most of us scored about 500. Obviously, did terribly, but it's it's not the end of the world. About 500 or so was probably sort of par. So if you did a lot better than that, that's good. But it's very, very what's the word? Volatile. It's very volatile. This scoring in this game. So can chop and change every week. All right, that's about it, boys. I want to just quickly show you I might do this every week, just show you my main league in Sleeper, or, the home fantasy league that I play with a few mates. This week I had Dovers who, look, I was only about 10 points behind heading into tonight or today with Lamar, and I thought it would be pretty clear with the Raiders matchup, and that man did everything to lose the game for me. I think I just snuck in front or something at like half time, and then Lamar fumbled it, and I was losing again. I was just like, mate, get the job done. Don't lose me this matchup week one, especially after, he had Rodgers for a 3, one of his worst games. And the reason it was sort of close, Brandon Ayuk. The Niners, I don't even want to get into it. So probably next week, I will. I think I already changed it, Get Damian Harris on off the bench, bench Ayuk, and then, Gallup I had as well on the bench. I have to pick up someone as well. So, that's the main team. Who have I got this week? Okay, I got Bex. So, should be a good matchup. He's got Kyler. Not a bad team. We'll see how we go. So, look, I might just show you those. That I mean, a lot of leagues, probably not worth going through them all, but this is sort of my main one. Biggest buy-in. Play with a lot of my mates every week, and I'll just keep track of how I'm going over the year and see what happens. All right. Good luck for next week, guys, and it's good to be back with some NFL on. Cheers.